Hello everyone watching. I've decided that Christmas this year must be cancelled because... And to start cancelling Christmas, that must be started by playing Grinch Simulator because eventually I'm going to come to your house and steal a present, so I have to start in Minecraft to warm up. Grinch Simulator's got an odd little place in my heart. I don't know why I really like it, but every time when December comes, I'm just really happy that hypixel have added it. And I know they've kind of got like a similar thing at Easter Simulator, Easter Bunny Simulator. I don't know, I think you collect eggs, I'm not really sure what it is. But when it comes around at Christmas as a Grinch Simulator, I don't know why, I just love it a lot more and it's way more fun to play. Now, I know that Grinch Simulator is not really supposed to be competitive, but where's the fun in that? Best way to play is to take a relatively non-competitive game and just try hard and sweat it. Some people may not agree with me, but that's my philosophy. And I've got a special tactic for this game, and I know I've been doing pretty well so far, but this isn't even like 10% of my power. What I need right now is some stairs. All I want for Christmas is stairs, because with these stairs, I need to get onto the roof, and I can't do that right now. You know what's just as good as stairs? Some trees, because with these trees, you can climb up them and get onto the roof. And I'm gonna do a strategy I like to call go roof or go home. Because honestly, if you want to win Grinch Simulator, the best thing to do is just get onto the roof as quick as possible. So if you've got a few brain cells and know how to form strategies, then this is perfect for you. So as you can see, I'm first on the leaderboard, and it's not gonna change. Hopefully. Maybe I like this game because it's satisfying. I don't know, just clicking everything and getting them and being first, I don't know, it scratches an itch in my head. Especially when I get to an area where there's loads of them and I'm like, oh yes, I have to collect all of these. It kind of reminds me of the games, kind of like Pokemon. No, okay, it's not really like Pokemon, but I'll explain why it's like Pokemon. Because I used to play Pokemon X and Y on my DS. Funny story, whenever a new Pokemon game gets released, there's always like 2 of them. So Pokemon Black and White, they're literally the same game, except there are a few differences, such as like the big legendary Pokemon in the game. But I got Pokemon X when I was 11, and look, that was my first Pokemon game. I didn't know. I also think I got it for Christmas, so that's kind of topical. That was the first like Nintendo DS game. It wasn't the first. It was my first Pokemon game I got. I got it on my 3DS, and I saw them released, and I was like, oh, Pokemon X and Y. I want to play those. So I got my parents to get me both of them. And I played Pokemon X first and was like, oh yeah, this is really fun. And I'd almost completed Pokemon X and I was like, you know what, I want to start playing Pokemon Y. I load it in and I'm like, this is the exact same game. I got scammed. And I was like, how is this possible? Because the pictures on the box, they had like different screenshots from the games. So I was like, well, these just 2 games, they must be different. I didn't know how they were connected to each other, but it would make sense for them to be different games. Okay, well, that's the first win. I'm not too overjoyed because you know what? I get wins every day. They're not special to me anymore. Also, I've been slightly sick recently, so I haven't really been able to do as much YouTube stuff as I would have wanted. But I'm feeling a lot better. But first, let me explain how I think I was sick because I might have gotten brain damage. So basically, a few days what happened was I hit my head. What was happening? I was by my desk and I was bending over. Not for any nefarious reasons, I just wanted to pick up some of my slippers that were on the floor. And they were like under my desk, you know where your legs usually go in your desk. And so I was like leaning down there to pick them up. But I don't know, for some reason, I suddenly lacked object permanence and I didn't notice that my desk was in the way. So as I'm like bent leaning down to get them, I hit my head on the desk and I hit it hard because like I said, in my mind the desk just isn't there. I hit my head hard and then like 10 minutes later, I don't know, I just start feeling really sick. My stomach just feels really weird and I'm like, oh, I need to lie down. I'm just not feeling good. To be honest, it might have been because I was on my PC for like 12 hours straight that day, and staring at the screen is a bit bad for you. But I really started feeling it after I hit my head, and so for the next few days, I was bad. Like I was needing tea every few hours just to keep me functioning. Also, my house was really cold. I know I probably had a cold, but I still feel like me hitting my head, it kind of caused it. And that's like the second time I'd hit my head badly recently. In the past 2 weeks, I've lost like 10% of my brain cells, which, you know, when you say 10%, it might not sound like that much, but when you really think about it, if you're 10% less smart, that's like 10% less job offers and 10% less wins in Grinch Simulator. And I'll explain how I hit my head the first time, because basically my boyfriend and I, we were lying down. We'd been watching a movie on his laptop, right? And so we're finishing up. He's closing the laptop and he leans over to put the laptop on the ground. But as he's doing that, I'm sitting up in bed and everything that happens, it happens so quickly. Because I'm sitting up, so my head goes like bam into the laptop, and at first I'm like, what the hell? Because like any reasonable person, I'm like, my boyfriend just tried to kill me, and he's like, what do you mean? You sat up into the laptop? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. At first I just thought that he like hit me in the head with it. Which I know that he wouldn't do, but to me at the time that's what had seemed like had happened. And even for a few days after that, every time I touched my forehead, it hurt. And I actually think like, I know, honestly, I only really think that thought that if you hit your head and you got a bump, that happened in the cartoons, but I swear I had like a little bump on my forehead. So also probably why I'm losing right now. I can't find any presents because I'm too stupid from hitting my head. I also think I further injured myself because recently I was like, you know what? I want to do some cool makeup looks. And I know, okay, a lot of you might not actually care about this next bit. Listen anyway. And I was like, oh, I want to get some coloured eyeliner. And so I went shopping and I bought a few pens and I took them home. So I tried it on, I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool. But I messed up a bit, I smudged some. So I'm like, okay, time to rub it off. I use my makeup remover. It's not moving. Properly rubbing with my makeup remover on some toilet paper to try and get it off my eyes, right? Because I've kind of put on a look. So I was kind of go for like, you know, a big look. And so it's coming, but like very slowly, and I get to the point, I want to get this off because it's just annoying me. And I get to the point where it's basically almost all gone, but I just can't rub anymore because I've pressed so hard and done it so much that I think I've like, it's burning my skin to keep going. And so even now, which is 2 days later, I've still got a slight mark of dark blue eyeliner underneath my eye. And even when like oh my god, the day after I woke up and it hurt to blink. Do you know how bad it is when it hurts you to blink? Because you have to blink like every 3 seconds. And so I felt like I was just walking around with like a half black eye. But anyway, honestly, usually I'm not usually that much of a Christmassy person, but for some reason this year I'm really feeling it, which is why I'm stealing it from everyone else. Like, I went Christmas shopping with my mum a few days ago, and we were looking at some trees, and there was this like one big tree, and she was like, oh, why don't we get that? And I was like, I literally don't even think we can fit it in our house, but we buy it anyway. This tree is probably the biggest tree I've ever had. When I say it's big, this tree is like obese. We had to stand on a chair to put the decorations on at the top. I'm not saying it's not even just tall. It is wide. Also, if I don't find 6 presents in 30 seconds, I'm gonna kill myself. Oh no, where is everything? Please, I can't win. I can't lose twice in a row. I always forget I've got this stupid. I'm literally all the presents. They're this way. Okay, there's one hidden here. It's not looking good, guys. 30 sec. Oh wait, okay, I had a minute. Now I've got 30 seconds. 40 gifts. This guy's got 40. You see, there's a difference between being like kind of good at the game and actually just banging it out like being a loser. And that's not me. And it was a World Cup final yesterday. And honestly, no, I'll admit it, I'm not really into football. I already watched the World Cup because it's the World Cup, and there's no shame in that. I think the best thing about the World Cup isn't just that all the different countries coming together, uniting and playing football. It's when all the different countries come together and they kind of just pick one other country to make fun of. And for this year it was France, and to be honest, I would be making fun of France even if it wasn't the World Cup. But I would be so heartbroken if France won the World Cup 2 years in a row, especially when they beat England, which is, you know, the country I was rooting for, obviously. And so I was rooting for Argentina to win in the final, not just because they were playing against France, but because Messi plays for Argentina. And my boyfriend's like, he's a big Messi fan, and I was like, you know what? I want Messi to be the greatest of all time because you want him to be the greatest of all time. And he basically built. You're on the. No, there's someone on the roof doing my roof strat. Get away! I swear to God, you stupid little Grinch person. You can't even aim at the presents. But I was screaming a lot for like a non-football fan, really, which isn't the smartest thing considering I'm sick, but I do feel better today than I did yesterday. I don't know if there's any science behind that, but maybe screaming did help me. Like, I'm not trying to push Scientology or anything. That's just my personal experience. I don't know what it is, but whenever it's Christmas and I'm playing Minecraft, I just feel really happy. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Minecraft around Christmas is just, I just feel like playing Minecraft around Christmas. It's just this like, it's just this really nice thing. It warms my heart. Also, this is another reason not to like Santa Claus, because look at how many stupid presents he just leaves out on the roof. Because I think my roof strat isn't as secret as I thought it was. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna teach everyone to make Grinch Simulator. Guys, if I'm not winning with a roof strat, I don't know how much hope the rest of you have. I guess I do just like playing Minecraft in winter more, because it's like, I can stay inside for a long period of time, and because it's not sunny outside, I don't feel bad about it. Also, if you're a fan of a certain Santa Claus and you're under the age of 11, maybe don't watch this next bit. I was 9 when I found out that Santa Claus may not necessarily exist. And I've heard some people say stories of how they found out and it was literally like the most heart-wrenching thing ever for them because I think they found out accidentally. But I was straight up to my mum, like, me at 9 years old, I was like, is Santa Claus real? And you're just like, no. And so, but this was an age where still like a decent amount of people around me thought that Santa Claus did exist. But I wasn't going to be rude and say anything to like them because I know that kids can be evil sometimes. You know, there are definitely kids that would take joy in telling other kids that Santa Claus isn't real. But I wasn't like that. And I had a friend at the time who, in hindsight, awful friend, probably worst friend I've ever had for a reason I'll get onto in a second. But I remember one time she was telling me that she was leaving school earlier to go to Lapland, which is where Santa Claus lives. And I've heard that before, and I think at the time I just assumed it was like some kind of amusement park thing. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, is there really an amusement, like a place called Lapland where you go to see Santa Claus? I just remember it because she was so happy. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna go see Santa Claus at Lapland. And I was just thinking, oh, you poor person. You're gonna get lied to, but I know the truth and I'm not gonna tell you. But anyway, the reason why she's like the most awful friend I had, we were like 9 at the time, but she was evil. She was like, I remember I used to play Bin Weevils a lot, and I don't know why, but well, okay, a lot of other people I knew played Bin Weevils. I don't know why, but everyone just wanted to know each other's passwords. Like even my friends, like they would log onto each other's accounts, they wouldn't do anything. They just wanted to know each other's password. It's just a really weird thing. And so this friend of mine, she wanted to know my password, and I was like really didn't want to give it to her because she was like the most manipulative 9-year-old I've ever met. So eventually I cave and like give it to her. And I remember like one day I log on to Bin Weevils and she spent like a third of my money. And I was a Bin Weevil sweat, right? So I was kind of balling. I was rich. She spent like a third of my money, like sold a bunch of my furniture in my house. And I was having like a breakdown to my mum. I was crying about it. Like this was like the worst thing that had ever happened to me. Someone had like not hacked, but it was like my Bin Weevil account got hacked and all my money is gone. Her logging onto my Bin Weevil account was probably worse for me than the 2008 financial crisis. And I remember I was so mad at her for betraying my trust. I got a piece of paper and I just started writing a letter to her. I put her full name and then I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And for 9-year-old me to put 3 I hate yous, you know, that's a pretty big deal. And I wrote this letter saying how much I hated her. She was the worst person I'd ever met. She was a horrible person for doing what she did. Like, I was going in on her. I'd even like drawn little pictures of rain clouds and lightning. I was mad. And I was planning to like give it to her or put it into her bag. And I remember I took it to school next day. And I just started feeling like really bad. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I might get in trouble if I give this to her. And honestly, getting in trouble was like the worst thing for me as a kid because I was pretty good in school. Yeah, okay, 3rd place. I sucked. Yeah, I don't know where that letter is now. I think I found it a few years ago, but I don't know where I put it. Christmas has been stolen from Minecraft. Your house is next. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Da 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 da.